I'm okay with the Seahawks keeping Geno Smith. I'm not of the opinion that I've seen people say, like, literally I've seen people say anybody but Geno. We all know that's bullshit. We know that's not a tenable solution. That's not realistic that anybody but Geno Smith is better than Geno Smith. We know that's not true. We know Geno's put up decent numbers of points. We know Geno Smith shines in certain metrics, right? We also know that the Seahawks are $27 million under the cap or over the cap going into next year. They're in the third worst cap position by just like raw. And it's not like it gets that much better, that much easier, right? Like they're probably going to cut Tyler Lockett, which means that they're going to carry $14 million in dead cap. They're probably going to move on from Draymond Jones, which means they're probably going to carry $14 million more in dead cap. I would say like, and we'll talk later in the offseason, maybe next week, about who I would cut, how I would clear space, what I would do with the future. Geno Smith, if you cut Geno Smith pre-June 1st designation, which means you have to take the whole dead cap hit in 1 year, it's $13.5 million dead cap hit, $31 million in savings. His cap number next year is $44.5 million. You don't save that whole cap number. You only save the what's above the dead cap, or what's above the remaining prorated signing bonus, which is why that's what the dead cap is. That's what the dead cap number is. There's a guy. There's two guys, but there's one guy who I would argue are comparably talented to Geno Smith, who were recently comparably or more productive than Geno Smith, who are in a very unique situation, a situation that is unique to 2025, 2024, because these are quarterbacks that got cut from enormous contracts that are, well, one of them did get cut. One of them is presumed expected to be cut. Kirk Cousins and Russell Wilson are the two guys I'm talking about. I don't know if that's obvious. Russell Wilson made $40+ million last year, but the Steelers paid $1.1 million of it, I believe. If Kirk Cousins gets cut by Atlanta, he has no incentive he has guaranteed salary in 2025 that either the Falcons are on the hook for, or he can sign for a deal, and whatever the team he signs with, whatever they're on the hook for, is the Falcons don't have to pay. Russell Wilson, $1.1 million, veterans minimum. You'd assume that Kirk Cousins is going to do something similar so a team he goes to can put more stuff around him. Now, I know Kirk Cousins isn't popular. I know Kirk Cousins is arguably not good, by the way. He's had rough parts of this year. He's not mobile. He's old. He's injured. I get that. But if you think he's close to Geno Smith in talent, you could save almost $30 million by signing Kirk Cousins, and that pulls you completely out of the cap deficit by saving $31 million. I'm not in favor of that necessarily. I think Geno Smith's better than Kirk Cousins. Is he better by enough? Is Geno Smith, his $31 million, if you could spend that on two offensive linemen and put Kirk Cousins back there? That's another thing, by the way. Kirk Cousins behind this offensive line is going to be in rough shape. Unless, and I will say also, if Grant Udinski comes to the Seahawks, maybe the chances of that increase by quite a bit. Presumably, he's got some familiarity with Kirk Cousins. And well, let's double check on that because I think he was there. Okay, yeah, he was there in 2022. So he's got some familiarity with Kirk Cousins. He's got some familiarity with an offense that Kirk Cousins can succeed in, where You get the ball out fast. Do I think Kirk Cousins, if you just put these two guys next to each other, money's the same, all other things being equal, I think Geno Smith's a better quarterback. But that's not the case. Is it a little cheesy to cut a guy because you can go find his exact equal for significantly cheaper? Man, I don't know. I think it would be a pretty innovative strategy. The only question is if Kirk Cousins has anything left. And I guess the other wonder I have is there going to be anyone else that's in a similar situation to this? Because I don't know what the Rams are going to do. The Rams have, I guess Matt Stafford they're facing a problem with Matt Stafford. Going into 2025, Matt Stafford, they have $49 million in dead cap on Matt Stafford or in dead money to save $300,000. Boy, that's rough. Never mind. It's not going to be Matt Stafford. I wonder how many more times we're going to see this, though. Like, another candidate for something like this in a couple of years might be Trevor Lawrence. Derek Carr. I don't know what their guaranteed salary situations are, but this is something I think we're going to see more often because we've seen these quarterback contracts get increasingly more player friendly, and that someone has to pay for that when it doesn't work out, and it's the team.